Obamanomics, a catchphrase of this last election cycle. The term may have been in reference to Obama's push away from the trickle-down involved in Reaganomics, while the possibility exists that it comes from Obama's oratory skills, which are fairly reminiscent to Reagan's. Nonetheless, while Reaganomics is clearly understood with its crux of lower taxes and smaller government, the concept of Obamanomics is not as easily broken down. So we'll begin by taking a look at the likable aspects of his economic plan. For one, it cuts taxes for 95% of Americans as he tries to benefit those who weren't at all helped during the last economic expansion. With 45 million uninsured Americans, his plan includes revamping the healthcare system to give people an incentive to sign up for an insurance plan. His plan also includes investments by the government in alternative energy, along with improvements in education, specifically the No Child Left Behind Act and tax cuts for education. Basically, Obama's tax plan is built around reversing the Bush tax cuts, which many Democrats see as exacerbating the income inequality between the rich and the poor. Republicans have promised to cut taxes for the rich by combining them with modest tax cuts for the middle class since the election of Reagan. By giving tax cuts for the middle class and increasing taxes on the wealthy, Obama was able to cut that Republican shield to win the election. The economic plan that Obama proposes would change a few tax rates in what the Obama campaign describes as a tax fairness plan. Obama, during his campaign, proposed huge tax cuts which would significantly reduce federal tax revenues. His plan primarily lowers taxes on low and middle income taxpayers while raising taxes for those people who make more than $250,000 a year. This comes as he tries to make the tax system more progressive in order to counter the increase of income inequality that started 20 years ago in America, which grew with the Bush administration. Obama's tax plan includes raising the top marginal tax rate to 39.6% from 35%. He would also increase the tax rates on capital gains and dividends to 25% for the top two brackets, while cutting tax loopholes and wasteful spending to gain more revenues, though the amount he proposed from these cuts makes it seem unlikely to happen. Meanwhile, his healthcare proposals would mandate a lot more employers to provide healthcare to workers and would require every child to be covered by health insurance. Obama is also looking to expand more government programs like Medicaid and encourage the government to negotiate directly with insurance and drug companies to lower the price of medicines to consumers. On the green front, Obama's economic plan includes his green energy plan, which calls for subsidizing alternative energy production. Through the plan, the government will invest $150 billion over the next 10 years to accelerate the commercialization of plug-in hybrids, encourage energy efficiency, invest in low-emissions coal plants, advance the next generation of biofuels and fuel infrastructure, and begin the transition to a new digital electricity grid. Besides all of this, his education plan aims to reform the No Child Left Behind Act, the reason being that his education team does not want teachers to have to teach a specific test for the whole year. His team also has an emphasis on getting more students into the math and science fields. He would also focus in helping a child's education from ages 0 through 5, and he will do so by giving states incentives to form a universal pre-K program. Moreover, his education plan would increase money for students who attend higher education classes, while he also includes a program to try to get better teachers into the classroom. His reason is that research has shown that higher spending on education raises productivity on the society as a whole. So, Obamanomics does revolve around bigger government spending and tax cuts for the poor and middle income. His team believes that raising the tax on the richest people and cutting tax loopholes will help make up for the government's lost revenues. The economic plan is redesigned to redistribute wealth to America's working class and to invest in areas where higher investment levels by the government can boost productivity and increase the long-term growth rate of the economy. That's Obamanomics for you. I'm Luisana Swegart with Markets.com.